Hi guys, this video I'm going to take you through today is just going to be quite a short one showing you how to set up a layout and put a simple title block on it. So I'm just going to use the little training batch model that we've been working on, and my initial steps will be to go up to the organizer, and where we normally create this master template is in the right hand side of the organizer, although you could use the left, but I would stick to the right. And you'll see already that Archicad has given you some masters or master layouts. There's a little thing in here called a sheet index, which I'm going to ignore, but really you could click on any one of these master layouts. If I go to A3 landscape, you'll see that it comes up and it's got some information on it already, and the page layout isn't very good actually, so that's why we want to show you how to create a new one. So what we can do is making sure we're in here. You'll see a couple of buttons at the bottom, and the one that we're looking for is this kind of shaded in one, which refers to I think it's new master layouts. If you click that, this dialog box comes up, create new master layout. And I would say, since we're going to be using A3 in this course, you can just say 5044. Once we progress to 5045, you can do another one with the content appropriate to that course. But this is going to be quite a little simple one, I suppose, but I'll just show you one method of doing it. We just go to the sheet size then, and you can say, well, look, I want it to be A3, easily landscape, and you can leave the margins that they are, or you can make them smaller, but I'm just going to really just say leave them as the default. Auto arrange new drawings, I would just leave it as that. I tend to bring them in and then basically arrange them as like a collage as I go. So I'm going to go create, and you can see I've got my A3 5044 in here already. Now if I just open up this one, you'll see it's a blank page at the moment, nothing in it. So I can really just shrink my organizer down a little bit so that you can see that at the same time. I'm going to click this to bring the drawing over to center of the page and bigger size. And really, you'll see that we can't really do any 3D elements in this because it's a 2D environment. So I can probably just minimize that. You don't have to, but I suggest you might want to. And if you were doing a title block and say it was just something fairly simple, you might say, well, I'm going to do a box, and just click this. And even by eye, although you can measure up, you might just draw something pretty simple. Now, you then may decide, well, what should a simple title block have? And, if it's just something like project name, it might be a logo. So what I might do is just put a little thing here for a logo. And then there might be a simple one for project name. Then you may have drawing name, and perhaps scale and number. If you want to put kind of subtitles in there, you could write using the text tool. And I don't know if the size is going to be perfect right away, so I'll just try one first and say, well, okay, this is the logo. I'll just say project name. And you could do just type the PRO project name, and I'll put capital here. And depending how big that is, I could just then drag that into the place that I want to locate it. Now in presentation drawings, you may not even need this. You might just write in bigger text. If I was to say write maybe 6, and just write here, say proposed, and I might put in capitals proposed new training center. And you might even make it a more funky text. You might see what fonts are there. Some of them could be a little bit dodgy, so you might want to be careful about that. That one looks not too bad actually, so I'll just bring that down. And if you go Control D and just drag it into this space. Now don't worry about the little anchors that you can see here because they won't print out. You may move it up a little bit. It might jump to. So if you've got this in here, you may not need this one. And to be honest with you, if you've got the drawing name here, which is just floor plan, I'll just kind of do that again. So if I have to grab this one, I'll just try and pick up its, I'll just say, okay, and I might just say caps lock floor plan. And you can just drag that in. I mean, you can take these little anchors and make them smaller. I'll just drag this into this one. And sometimes in a presentation set, simple titles are better. And again, I'll just say scale, maybe it's 1 to 50, but you'll know what your drawings are. And we can just simply drag this in, and you may not even need a drawing number in a set this presentation. So drawing these boxes may be more appropriate for the title block that you did in construction documentation and for perhaps the course we're going to do afterwards. But the important thing to notice is that this is like your letterhead or stationery. So if I bring this organizer over again, and what I want to do this time is not create a master layout, I just want to create a sheet that I'm going to put maybe one of these views on. So at the minute I don't have any views, so I better create some. I'm going to pull over the ground floor, and I'll maybe pull over an elevation, maybe 2. So what we'll do then is I'll go back to the view map here. I'll go to the layout here, and I'll say I want a new layout. So I just click this, and it says create new layout. And all I got to do then is choose the master layout. So I'm going to choose this one, click create. And basically you'll see now that this is my sheet, and it's got in red all the information and text that we had in our master layout. Now I don't have my logo, so what we'll do is I'll go back and amend that master layout. And what you could do is just go and do a word search and find a logo that you like, and I'm going to put in a Unitech one. So if I click this one and I right click and say save image as, I'll just save it onto my desktop as a Unitech logo, and I'll try and take off my caps lock, not that it will matter too much. So I've done with that. I'm now going to go back here, and in my master layout I can go file, external content, place external drawing, and if I go to the desktop, there's my Unitech logo. I don't know what size is going to come in, but let's just try it. So it's rather big. This also comes in by default with this little scale thing on it. So what you do is just shift click, go to the settings, and minimize this one, go to title, and built-in drawing title, just say no title. Take it off, and that scale disappears. Now we can just resize this graphically, so I'm going to drag it down to the corner of my kind of main title block, and I'm then just going to grab this and then say adjust the frame, and I'm just going to bring it all the way down to, I'll undo that actually, I've picked the wrong one, I should have gone to this one, and I think that should bring the whole image down. So if I bring it to here, zoom right in, and then drag it just maybe somewhere centrally, and your logo might be a more rectangular shape, but this will do to just illustrate what we're up to. So if I go to sheet, this layout that I created, you'll see that it's updated with my Unitech logo. I'm going to call that floor plan in this little properties dialog box, and then all I got to do is just grab my floor plan from the view map, drag and drop, and put it in here. And when I zoom all, you might see the floor plan's really rather big, so I'll just grab it. If I hold down the button here, I can just adjust this frame again and bring it bring it to here. So you've got to be careful which of these you use. So I'm going to use this one because I want to keep the building in there. And I can probably bring this over a little bit. Now it depends if you've got elevation markers, whether you want to keep it at the scale, which is 1 to 50, or do you want to make it 1 to 100 to show elevation and section markers. And then I'm just going to go Control D and drag this into probably the center of my drawing. And if I zoom all, you can see there's the drawing placed on the sheet with the title block. So you can do something similar with the elevations one. Just say elevations. Make sure you change the master layout to the one you've created. And if I hit that elevations one, there's nothing on it now. But if I grab both these elevations, I can grab two of them at one time. And basically, there's the elevations. I'm going to drag them down a little bit. Here's another one. I'm just going to drag them down centrally, but I'm doing this very quickly. When you zoom in and see that the roof is a little bit curtailed, just left click on one of these. And I think the first one will allow us to kind of make the frame bigger and give the roof a bit of breathing space. And then I'm going to click anywhere to deselect that one. I'm going to shift click here, do the same in the bottom one, and I'm starting to create some sheets with the required drawings. So I think that should be enough to let you make a start and practice. So best of luck, and we'll see you in class. Thank you.